Hey, welcome back, everybody. So here we are. Happy Saturday. Hope everyone's having a wonderful, blessed day. It is absolutely gorgeous weather, and it's a beautiful day to be getting down or doing whatever it is that you like to do. So I'm hoping you're doing just that. So, trying to wrap things up here. I just hit everything with 180 grit back here. I just hit it with 320. Now, what I strongly suggest you do to save you time is to have something readily accessible like this cart here, where you're going to have other grits of sandpaper. You're going to have a block. You're going to have your DA if you need to get down with the DA. Scotch pad. This is ultimately what I'm going to end up wiping everything down with before I hit it with wax and degreaser to clean it, tape it off, and then I'm going to spray some 2K primer today. Today the goal is to get everything else in primer that needs to get in primer, minus some really small parts that I'll probably end up taking home and doing there. I'm really excited. I bought a bicycle phone mount for the phone, and I'm going to mount it to the spray gun, so hopefully you get a better view when I'm spraying of what that looks like, that 50% overlap with 2K primer, and then maybe calculate the distance. It's going to be different for everyone. You got to find your groove, but we'll get into that later. So now let me just get back to work here. I'm going to hit everything with the Scotch pad. Then I'm going to move over to the doors. I'm going to wipe down the jams underneath the hood and the hood jams, spray everything. And then before I leave today, the trunk lid and whatever other little parts I have bouncing around, I might try to get that done before I get home. If not, I'll just take it home and do it there. So let's get right to it.
So at this point, I've already hit it with 180 and 320. I'm just going over everything with the Scotch pad. The Scotch pad is equivalent to 320, but it just gets in those nicks and crannies that sandpaper might not be able to get into. So just take your time and have some fun with it. I mean, come on. Got the Scotch pad. Do it.
So I got a good shot here. So this is what it looks like after hitting it with the Scotch pad. And that's what it looks like before. After, before. You just want to get this roughed up, scuff it up so that the primer is going to stick well. And I mean, this is the bottom of the door. I mean, no one's going to really be looking under here, but you still want it to look nice. You want the paint to wrap all the way around the part, so it makes a huge difference. Just hit everything with your Scotch pad. All right, so everything's sanded down, ready to get everything taped off where we don't want primer to go, which in this case is not a lot. One of the things that I would strongly suggest when you're taping is to get one of these tape dispensers. It keeps everything nice and organized, and the cut is a straight edge. So, I mean, you can't get that kind of result ripping it off with your teeth. So here we go. Gonna get some tape as far deep into the crevice as I can. Press it up against my surface here, up against that window. Now this tape got a little dirty because I left it out, but I mean, you take care of your stuff, it's gonna stay clean and it's gonna be optimal for what you need it to do. Like taping off. Taping, I think, is one of the most tedious things about this whole process, but I found a trick, and it's this thing right here. Saves you a ton of time and effort because it tapes the edge of the paper for you. And once you get down your first piece, you can manipulate it to do what you need it to do. And with practice, I mean, you just start getting used to taping. You know, it's just one of those things you get better with as you do it more and more. I'm not really worried about primer getting up here, but we'll take that off. We're gonna leave the windows down, so I'm just gonna tape off this edge right here. I like to put one edge down and then kind of line it up where you'd like it. When you're happy, and just press it into that crevice with the edge of your nail. And now here's another thing. When you can leave it, or you can press and come back with a razor blade and then cut off this little lip right between these two and peel it back. And I can show you what that looks like. I think I might just do that because that's gonna make it easier, and I'll do it for the video. So let me finish taping off and then I'll come back with a razor blade. All right, I'm gonna try to do this to the best of my ability with one hand. So here's that break, and just get your razor blade in and just slowly, that's okay. Nice and easy. Kind of like you're surfing with the blade. I would recommend also before you start taping that you have a fresh blade for stuff like this. Yeah. Can I make it to the end? Yes I can. Okay. Now you're gonna come back to the beginning, press down on the area that you want to keep, and now you're gonna peel back what you cut away. Peel back, and they're gonna be in segments because you put one. This is not all one long piece of tape. It's segmented, so just little by little peel it back, and now your line is going to be very, very crisp, very clean right along here. Testing 1 2 1 2. All right. So here, there's going to be a door panel right in here. So there's no point in spraying here, and obviously you don't want to get any primer or paint on the glass on these components here. So what I'm doing is taping around where that door panel will go, so that way we can get paint where it will be exposed. I'm not happy with that. Let me pull this back. And if it takes a few tries, it takes a few tries. If it takes a little bit more tape than what you were expecting, then so be it. This is one of the most important parts of the entire process. Now, I'm going to go in a little extra. That way, if the door panel that the client decides to go with doesn't cover everything, it'll be painted. So I'd rather paint more than not enough. So now I'm gonna start this way. Come right in.
Just take your time. I mean, you've worked your butt off to get here. You're gonna spray. You don't want overspray. Piece by piece, little by little, work your way around. Once you get the paper going, you can manipulate it the way you want. Just be careful not to tear through it. When I'm gonna finish, there's a piece that overlaps paper on the other paper, and it's open. Be sure you put a piece of tape there, because paint, primer, clear coat, it's funny and it'll just travel, you know? So just right there, Put a piece of tape there. Just do it. And here's the mount for the phone, so let's see what happens.
Looks good to me. Super uncomfortable. Now I'm going to narrow my shot tremendously. Get in here. Yeah, I'll switch hands. May or may not be able to see. Look at that. But if it's working. Really?
the progress for today. Just got a little ways to go to get it all in primer and finally start wet sanding. Stay tuned, everybody.